On the news, President Buhari extends tenure of IGP, appoints former service chiefs. Fire at Tipo Market in Abuja. And stakeholders seek government intervention in cancer treatment. Glad to have you here on News Now. I am Folashade Ogrinde. President Muhammadu Buhari has written the Senate to seek the confirmation of all the immediate past service chiefs as non-career ambassadors. The nominees include Abayomi Olonishakin, Tuko Buratai, Ibok Ete Ibas, Sadiq Abubakar and Mohammed Usman. The President urged the Senate to give expeditious consideration to the nominations. Meanwhile, the President has also extended the tenure of Mohammed Adamu as the Inspector General of Police for another 3 months. Minister of Police Affairs Mohammed Dingyadi disclosed this in an interview with State House correspondents at the Presidential Villa in Abuja on Thursday. The minister said the extension was necessary to give room for the proper selection of a successor.
Mr. President has decided that the present IGP Mohammed Adamu will continue to serve as the IG for the next 3 months to allow for a robust and efficient process of appointing a new IG. I think this is not unconnected with the desire of Mr. President to not only have a smooth handover, but to also ensure that right officer is being appointed into that position.
To give more insight to this, I'm joined by legal practitioner Evan Tufeli via Skype from Lagos. Glad to have you on News Now. Now, do you think the President has acted within the law with the extension of the IGP's tenure?
Well, the presidency has given an excuse that the reason for this extension is because the government need ample opportunity to come up with an appropriate appointment or to get the right person. But if you look at it, it is in contravention with the law because the former IGP or the IGP now has already attained the age of retirement. It is not just that his tenure has expired, it's that he has attained the age of retirement. And what the president or the presidency ought to have done, having known that he's going to attain the age of retirement at this point in our political history, the government ought to have made the necessary arrangements to get a successor before the attainment of that age of retirement. So it appears that the government is not proactive on this. It shows lack of preparedness, it shows lack of tact, and a lack of strategy. Because what we have now is practically a conflict of law and action of the presidency or the president. And what they need to do, they are already doing in illegality, because I know that there are cases where they have reappointed the IGP, but that is where the tenure is still up. I mean, that is where the IGP still have a number of years, okay, to put in, where his retirement age is still far away. Then you can reappoint him. But in this case, where he has attained the age of retirement, you have a lot of policemen who are supposed to have been situated appropriately in order not to run into a conflict of the civil service rule, the police act, and then the constitution.
Well,
I would have thought.
Mr. Evans, but thank you very much for sharing your insight on this matter. Thank you for joining us on News Now. One person has died and goods worth millions of naira destroyed in a midnight fire outbreak at the popular Tipe's market in Gwangripa Estate in Abuja. The cause of the fire, which burned several shops and goods, is yet to be known, as traders were seen counting their losses. TV360's Atunika Nuke reports.
It was a midnight fire that engulfed the entire length of the Tipper garage and market in 3rd Avenue, Gwangripa Estate, Abuja. This is the second inferno within 3 months in Gwarimpa, the biggest housing estate in West Africa. After hours of uncontrollable fire, this is what is left of goods and wares of business owners in the market. Tricycles, motorcycles, vehicles, refrigerators, electronics, food items, and many more valuables have been consumed by the fire. And here are some survivors who managed to escape from the inferno but lost virtually all their belongings.
Around 1 o'clock, I dey sleep. Just my children, when they walk together with her, they say, "Auntie, wake up. Night, light, light." I say, "From where?" I just wake up. I not take anything. Oh, I just come out run. I see people they run, they come out. I follow them, enter one car, like this, keke knife, and the car, and they run like this. I follow them. I run, go.
Some are too heartbroken as a result of valuables lost, and this is evident in their conversation with TV360.
No one can give account of how the fire just started. The bridge just started, and before you say you call this one to wake up, we just see everything started burning. And the more the fire was coming, it come with speed, as if petrol, but it's not petrol. We have over 550 something air condition on ground there. We have never even talk of plasmas. We have not talk of so many things. I cannot even name it. And you should just come to our ends.
Ijeoma is the chairlady of the market. She managed to explain the level of destruction.
From here to Panteka, I think you see the distance. No one where inside one shop, their market no reach not less than 3 to 4,000, 4 million naira. Like myself, I have 7 shops. My own past 20 million. So calculate it for people where they sell wholesale. Some they sell wholesale, bags of rice, bags of beans. So all those things. So you pass it past 500 million.
The director of FCT Fire Service, Sani Seidu, spoke on why the inferno raised the market within a short time and advised traders on how to avoid future occurrence.
Kind of structure that was being erected here, it was not a well structure, it was a wooden structure. So coupled with the current weather, the fire went wide. I will always advise the operators of the market to now adhere strictly to fire sensitization program and also to have all the numbers of the emergency so that at any strategy they can call.
This is Tipa Garage in Gwarimpa, Abuja, where properties worth millions of naira were razed overnight by an inferno. Sadly, one person lost his life. The reason for the fire is yet unknown, but people can be seen salvaging what is left of the debris. From Abuja, Atinuke Nuke, TV360 News.
Now on News Now, Atinuke Nuke joins us from Abuja for an update on the fire incident. Thank you very much, Atinuke, for joining us on News Now. Well, a scene of an inferno is becoming one too many in Nigeria, but can you bring us up to speed on any new developments on the Gwarimpa fire incident?
Well, we've been following up since it happened. I can't find the right word to describe what's the mood that those traders were in this morning. So after trying to talk to them, we met with the chairman and the chairlady of the market. And they said that efforts are ongoing, to see if governments can compensate them and make something useful out of the debris on ground. So also tried to reach relevant authorities, but I think they are afraid to make a statement. But one of the officials who proved anonymity said that subsequently, government will wade in and try to see if some traders can be compensated, and only if they have evidence of, the goods that were lost in the inferno.
Well, certainly we hope that such incidents doesn't occur again, because definitely lots of people would have lost properties and even a life was lost. But thank you very much, Atinuke, for coming on News Now. Well, moving on, the son of Abdurrashid Maina, former chairman of the defunct Pension Reform Tax Team, Faisal has fled to the United States of America. Counsel to the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, Mohammed Abubakar disclosed this at the Federal High Court in Abuja on Thursday. Faisal was standing trial on charges of money laundering, had jumped bail, refusing to attend trial since November 24, 2020. Abubakar said EFCC got information that Faisal sneaked to the U.S. through the Republic of Niger, despite the fact that the Nigerian and American passports are still with the registry of the court. Faisal Maina's lawyer, however, disputed the claim of the prosecution, insisting that his client was arrested by a Nigerian police force in Sokoto. He urged the court to open an inquiry as to the true whereabouts of his client. Well, every 4th February is a day set aside to highlight the prevalence of cancer in the society and how it can be managed. The United Nations says the day is an opportunity to rally the international community to end the injustice of preventable suffering from cancer. In Nigeria, cancer patients are not finding it easy managing the ailment due to many factors, which include access to quality Medicare, drugs and funds. TV360 Simisola Adigun in this report looks at what can be done by stakeholders to manage the treatment and prevention of cancer in the country.
According to the United Nations, 17 people die of cancer every second globally. Cancer has also been identified as a new pandemic in Africa due to lack of good healthcare system, professionals, quality drugs, and experts to manage the situation. In 2018, a total of 41,000 Nigerians were killed by cancer out of an estimated 166,000 cases recorded in the country, the World Health Organization said. There are more than 100 types of cancers, but key drivers in Nigeria and most African countries are tobacco use, alcohol consumption, sedentary lifestyle, polluted environment, and unhealthy diets, according to experts.
When you talk of smoking, for instance, obviously that makes them more predisposed to pulmonary or lung cancer. You see, because smoking itself goes to weaken the lung cells. And when it weakens the lung cells, then there may be a mutation, and then it begins to replicate rapidly, and you call that cancer. With alcohol, for instance, it goes to actually destroy the liver. And when it destroys the liver cells are weak and they cannot perform optimally, then you begin to see a situation where rapid replication of those cells will happen, and then you call it cancer.
Cancer is beginning to be a very serious problem in the country. WHO have just released the 2020 cancer incident and mortality, and clearly it shows that the incidence of cancer is increasing in the country. But unfortunately, the health system response to the increase in both cancer death and both cancer mortality is absolutely poor in the country. And COVID-19 have also played a very huge role in disrupting the entire healthcare system.
With one of the world's highest cancer death rates, what can be done to save more patient lives in Nigeria?
If the government can implement a national screening in a way that is very simple, once every woman who already have a breast board comes into the hospital, that woman should be screened for breast cancer and should be screened for cervical cancer, and the woman will instantly receive what we call the human papillomavirus vaccine. This is the first and the most important foundation of cancer control in any part of the world.
If civil society organizations or high net worth individuals can actually come up with a foundation, a cancer foundation, that will be able to bring in all of those heavy treatment alternatives and make them available at subsidized cost, that will help.
This year's theme is I Can, We Can, which acknowledges that everyone has the capacity to address the burden of cancer. The United Nations says all can work together to reduce cancer risk factors and can overcome barriers through early diagnosis, treatment, and palliative care. Simisola Adigun, TV360, Lagos.
Speaker of the House of Representatives, Femi Gbajabiamila, on Wednesday said no particular ethnic group in the country should claim superiority or lord over others. He said this while speaking with State House correspondents after a closed-door meeting with President Muhammadu Buhari at the presidential villa in Abuja. The speaker said his discussion with the president was on the state of the nation and that it was a fruitful and interesting discussion. He further called for an amicable solution to the face-off between herdsmen and their host communities in the southern part of the country before the situation worsens.
Everybody must just come to the table and discuss and come to an amicable resolution, which I'm sure we will. I don't think any ethnic group should lord it over any ethnic group. The Southwest should not lord it over the North. The Northwest should not lord it over the South. We should respect each other's trade, geographical space, history, culture. And more importantly, the issue of crime, murder, all those things should be completely jettisoned. But the important thing is that we all need to sit down on the table and discuss this matter and look for a way forward. I know these issues will come up, and legislation, adequate and proper legislation that will address the issue frontally and in the best interest of the country and all nations that make up the nation. Such legislation will come up and will be put in place.
The Pan-African Niger Delta Forum, Ohanaeze Ndigbo Afenifere, and the Middle Belt Forum has berated the Northern Elders Forum for alleging that Northerners were being attacked in the south. The groups described as false allegations by NEF that Fulanis are being killed and chased out by Southerners. Spokesman for PANDEF, Ken Robinson, said the Northern Elders Forum did not call to other elements who were parading themselves as headsmen, perpetrating killings, raping women and destroying farmlands in the South and Middle Belt. The Middle Belt Forum advised Northern groups to desist from making inciting statements capable of setting Nigeria on fire along North and South divide. Publicity Secretary of the Middle Belt Forum, Isuwa Dogo, said it was wrong for the Northern groups to make statements that could mislead other Nigerians on the security challenges facing the country. To make more sense of this issue, I'm joined now by security analyst Dennis Amakri, who joins me via Skype from Abuja. Thank you very much for joining us on News Now. You have listened to some of the disturbing news item about ethnic tension in some parts of the country, and it probably means that DSS may be right after all for raising alarm of plots by some people to destabilize the country. What's your thought on this?
Yes, of course. When the DSS came up with the alert, a lot of people thought that the DSS was trying to just raise alarm or panic people. But right now you can see that these things are coming out now. It has been all over the country. In fact, there has never been a time like this where the country has been so divided. And it is something that, just like the speaker had said, this is the time for everybody to come around the table and sit down and talk about it.
Okay, I think that was a technical glitch, but let's move on now. What should we be doing as governments and citizens to de-escalate tensions and aggressions that is gradually building up across the country?
I think the government have a lot to do. The government have really a lot to do by addressing these issues, because we're having a lot of all kinds of militant groups coming out in the country in different areas, and they've not been stopped. So, you know, we have kidnapping, Fulani herdsmen, kidnapping, and people are complaining. And in fact, the impunity was that, like, you know, they don't care. And of course, some of them come out and make some incendiary statements. But I think the government have to come out right now and tell the people that, you know, these people that are doing all these things have to be brought to book, because the country is moving towards an abyss if this thing is not arrested. We have all kinds of groups now in the South-South, in the southeast, in the northwest, and northeast. And all these groups can make this country very ungovernable. So I think this is the time for the government to move in and do the needful.
Now, currently in Nigeria, we have insurgency at the borders and ethnic tensions in Nigeria. But do you think the change of service chiefs would bring recourse to this issue?
We feel that with the change of service chiefs, there will be some kind of respite because these guys are going to come in with a new gusto. They are going to come in with new ideas, and they have to strategize together. I think they have a lot to learn from what happened with the other service chiefs. So this is their time to, prove themselves, and then of course put down their legacy, as military men.
Well, thank you very much, Dennis, for your thoughts on this matter. Thank you very much for coming on News Now. Federal government to rake in over 1 trillion naira from road concessions. We'll take this and more after this break. Welcome back. Now let's take a recap of some of our top stories. President Muhammadu Buhari has extended the tenure of Inspector General of Police. Minister of Police Affairs Mohammed Dingyadi made this known on Thursday in Abuja. And we also told you that one person died and goods worth millions of naira destroyed in a midnight fire outbreak at the popular Tipas market in Gwarinpa Estate in Abuja. Welcome back. Now let's move our attention to COVID-19 stories and updates. About 303 doctors have died due to COVID-19 in Indonesia. The Indonesian Medical Association added that among the 303 doctors, 169 were general practitioners, 129 are specialists, and 5 resident doctors between the age range of 28 and 85. January 2021 saw the highest fatality of doctors due to the pandemic at 57, while in December 2020, the virus killed 55 doctors in the country. The provinces with the highest death toll of doctors are East Java, Jakarta, and Central Java. We'll take a short break here and return with business stories. Please stay with us. Welcome back. Well, up next is business stories and stock market review with Jerusha Amarego.
Thank you, Folashade. The federal government says it expects over 1 trillion naira investments from the private sector for the development and maintenance of the various highways earmarked for concessioning under the Highway Development Management Initiative. Now, this is that the expected funds from the private investors will reduce the financial burden of maintaining and rehabilitating the concessioned highway roads and free up funds for the federal government to meet other obligations. The Federal Ministry of Works and Housing further disclosed that the HDMI will be of benefit to Nigeria, saying the huge funds expected from the private sector would help drive the initiative that would see to the concession of the highways. Return with stock market review. Do stay with us. Negative sentiments persisted on the Nigerian Stock Exchange on Thursday, with the all-share index extending losses of 0.51%. Market capitalization also shared 112 billion to close at 21.8 trillion naira. Taking a look at our top losers today, which impacted the losses. The market loss was piloted by price depreciation in medium and large capitalized stock led by Dangote Cement. Market breadth also closed negative with 25 losers compared to 21 gainers. Now, Africa's largest cement producer, Dangote Cement, who a week ago restated its commitment to maximizing shareholders' value as it continues to maintain financial discipline and liquidity, crowns the losers list today with a 6 naira loss. We see J. Beja also as a loser today, NNFM and Champions. Conversely, on our gainers list today, Adova PLC chunked up more gains for the second consecutive day of this week, hence leading the winners list with a 1 naira gain. Other winners and gainers today, Presco, May and Baker, FCMB. Now, in the market summary today, we see that the volume of 629 million worth 7.9 billion exchanged hands in 4,753 deals. Taking a look at our foreign scene today. For better gains today, we see FTSE and the Nikkei on reds, while Dow Jones is on green. Now, the pound rose, sending the FTSE lower after the Bank of England cooled speculations of a move into the negative interest rate. Similarly, Nikkei also retraced from recent highs after an uninspiring session from the Wall Street. Now, that's all we have on Stock Market Review. It's back to you, Folashade, for the rest of the news.
Thank you very much, Jerusha. Well, up next is entertainment reports.
Nigerian singer and songwriter Harry Song is set to walk down the aisle again and has revealed the identity of his fiancée as Alexa Gopal. The singer shared a pre-wedding photo of himself and Alexa, both clad in white, as he announced that their wedding will be held in March. The singer also posted a copy of the invitation card for the forthcoming wedding ceremony with the caption, "I got it perfect this time." The wedding ceremony will take place in Delta State on March 27th. Congratulations to Harry Songs. The Nigerian trio of Tiwa Savage, Davido and Wizkid have all bagged at least a nomination in the 52nd National Association for the Advancement of Colored People Image Awards, a US-based annual award to honor outstanding performance in film, television, music and literature. Afrobeat superstar Davido got nominated in the Outstanding International Song category for his song Ta-Na-Na, featuring Tiwa Savage, who also got nominated in the same category for Temptation, featuring Sam Smith. While Nigerian superstar Wizkid got nominated for his part on Beyoncé's Brown Skin Girl single. The award will be aired on the 28th of March 2021. Black Panther star Chadwick Boseman has been posthumously nominated for a Golden Globe Award for his performance in Ma Rainey's Black Bottom. The late actor, who died of colon cancer in August 2020, received a nod for Best Performance by an actor in a motion picture. The Hollywood star passed away during post-production of the film, and although he had previously been nominated for various awards, Boseman's posthumous Golden Globe nomination is the first of his career. The award winners are due to be announced during a bi-coastal ceremony on February 28th. And that's all we have on the entertainment segment of News Now.
Away from entertainment, now to sport. Super Eagles player Kelechi Iheanacho scored his first Premier League goal of the season to help Leicester City secure a 2-0 victory over Fulham in Wednesday's Premier League game. The 24-year-old was handed his third league start of the season, spearheading the Foxes' attack in the absence of Jamie Vardy. Iheanacho made the most of the opportunity to open his account in the English top flight this term and helped the Foxes return to winning ways after suffering a defeat against Leeds United. The Super Eagles attacker has now bagged 4 goals and provided 4 assists in 20 appearances across all competitions this season. But that's it on our package. Thank you for watching. I am Folashade Ogrinde.